So here's part 2 of setting up a private Wrath of the Lich King WoW server. We went over how to get it installed last time and initially started running, but we didn't go too much into the GM commands and setting up stuff like adding professions, max level, that sort of thing. Most of that is configured in the worldserver.conf file. In this case, I have it opening with Notepad. But to do that, if you're not familiar with opening up conf files, you just shift right click, select open with, choose your program, in this case Notepad. You can hit the down arrow for other programs if you have like Notepad++ or Visual Studio Code or whatever. But you select your program and always open it with this program. Now, I think in the last video I had it installed on my desktop, so I had Visual Studio Code, but it's still just a text editor. So anyway, you open up that file and you'll see, I think I went over the server rates briefly, but you just copy that and Control F to find, Control V, and it'll take you down to server rates, and you can set the health, drops, and XP, and all that fun stuff. I think I went over this briefly. Since you're probably going to be playing alone, the arena and honor points and stuff don't really matter. There is a way you can set the honor points for new characters. I don't PvP much, so I don't know. And I don't really on this one, but it allows you to buy some PvP gear right out of the box. Skill gain crafting, I set it to 5, just so I can level up faster, even though you can use a GM command to max it out automatically. Sometimes I just like to do it this way. Skill chance, you got 10% chance to get on gray items in mine, but you can change it however you like. Mining, durability loss, blah blah blah. Stat limits, you can raise the max dodge, parry, block, and crit. Let's see, what else do we want to look at here? Okay, arena we don't care about. Network we don't care about. Node access, that's a whole nother story. I'm going to let you Google that on your own. Let's see. There's one for map explored. You can set it to 1 so you can see all the map without having to use the fog. 1 to track both mining and herbs at the same time. I haven't done that, so, but I enabled it. Let's see. This one, if you enable it, it gives your weapons all max that you start with, I believe. Let's see. There is one. You might just have to search it here. Okay, auction bot, you set that to 1 and set the seller to 1, and that'll allow the auction house to work. And then you can set what ratio. I set neutral to 0, but auction house and the horde and alliance is set to 100. You can set the types. If you want more glyphs or more purple items and stuff, you can just go ahead and modify the auction house bot as you like. But the one I was looking for in particular, let's just search for it. Max skill, I believe. Let's search up. Well, there's one in here that allows you... Okay, it's profession. I spelled profession right? No. There we are. Primary trade skill. 0 to 11. This means 2 is so you can learn like tailoring and enchanting, and that's it. If you set it to 11, you can get them all. I set it to 10 because I don't know. But there's a trick to that. When you go to train up your third skill, it'll say, do you want to drop your first skill? Just hit yes, and then it'll add a new one automatically. We'll go over that just in a moment. Yeah, I think that's the only things I did different from the first one. Looks like I already had it open. So once you make those changes, if you remember in the last video, whenever you make a change to the world server conf, you have to stop the world and restart it again. Now I didn't make any changes. We're just going to do it real quick. So we got stop, start, take a drink of coffee. I also set my max level, which is in there as well, to 100. You don't want to set it above 100 because it gets really buggy. Like you open up your character stats and it just crashes. So it's disconnected. We'll log in here. And let's see. We'll just start with a whole new character, and then we'll go over some commands. Let's pick warrior, randomize. Okay, so there's my level 1 warrior. So we'll enter the world. Just go over a few GM commands. Let me move the camera here. There we go. Escape that. And we'll just change the font to 18 to make it easier to read. Unlock window. There's a way to make this bigger, I just don't know what it is. Anyway, that should be good enough. You can read that, right? Oh, right here it is. There we go. And I also had it set in the world server config file to where it automatically gives me the rep. What's the there it is. Reputation. Automatically makes me exalted for pretty much everything. I don't remember why I did that. There's really no need. Let me change my X Pro here. There we go. Okay, so first thing we want to do, the first command we're going to go over is the easiest one, the one you probably are most interested in, is dot level. Let's say I want to be level 40. You take the 1, the 1, and then subtract that 1. So we'll just say 39, and then I'll make me level 40. Now, yeah, and then you could just do it again. So we're 40, we want to be 80, so we're going to do 40. Now I'm level 80. So you want to subtract 1 from the first one. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. The next one you want to learn is tele, T-E-L-E, and then the location you want to teleport to. So we'll just teleport to Stormwind. And there we are. And then I believe the auction house is working. So we're just going to check it out real quick. Yeah, it is working. I have it set to mostly purple gear, just because. But the problem with that, when you set the level, I don't think I set the level, but you don't get many glyphs. I don't think there's any in here right now. Probably not. So, yeah, that's something you'll have to play with or work on the add item command, which we're going to go over next. So the add item, well, first we're going to go over lookup, because that's really important to the add item. So let's say you wanted, let's just take something off here. Okay, so we want another one sword. So what we do, let's get rid of that screen. You can do dot lookup, caps lock. Well, add item, you can do add item, and then you shift click on the item, and now I have two of them. Now, let's say you don't know what you want here. Well, you do know, but you don't have one already, so you can't shift click it. You can just do lookup, item, space item, and let's say we wanted Shadowmourne, because who doesn't want Shadowmourne, right? So you just type shadow, and I just do shadow M, and you'll get a list of things that begin with shadow M. And of course, Shadowmourne's listed in there. And look at it, that's pretty badass. Okay, so do add item, and shift click on Shadowmourne. Enter, and now I have Shadowmourne. Let's equip that, and there we go. Another thing you want to do, so you don't run out of inventory space, you do dot lookup, item, portable, and you'll see portable hole there. So you just do dot add item, shift click on portable hole, space. Now this is important if you're doing, like if you need a bunch of arrows or bullets, or if you're doing crafting and you need a bunch of items to craft with. After you find the item you're looking for, you put space and then the number. So if I put space 4 on this, it'll give me 4 portable holes, like so. And then you just equip them as normal. And there we go. Got all that bag space. And you can also do the same for the bag. You just get more portable holes, excuse me, and drop them in the bag. Okay, so you know that. The lookup command you're going to be using a lot, probably. So we'll go over another one. Let's do lookup, and then item. No, let's not do item. Let's do tela. Lookup tela, and now you want to go to well, Ironforge is easy. You just type in Ironforge. Let's say you want to go Icecrown. So look up Tela Icecrown. And it'll give you two options. The Icecrown area and then the Citadel raid. So we're going to go ahead and go to the door for the raid. So we go .tela, T-E-L-E, not A, because I type A all the time. It's E. And then shift click on Citadel raid, enter. Tell is a pretty important command, so get it down. Now, I cheat, right? Obviously, I'm playing by myself, so I need to cheat some, especially to get geared. You can use the add item command, which is fine. That's easy enough, like I did with Shadowmourne here. And then you can run through your instances, your heroic, your 5-man dungeons and stuff, get geared up, and then start doing raids. And if you saw in the world server file, there is an option. Let me search for it. Max HP. Nope. Let's do damage. Okay, so here's creature damage. You can lower it. 1 is default, but we're all used to. And you can lower it by going into you know, 0.5, 0.2. See, I set the normal to 0.5. I'm actually going to change that back to 1 because when you're just out in the world, that's what most normals are. For elite, I change that to 0.2 because it's kind of hard to play by yourself with elites. Rares, I set to 0.2. Rare elites, I set to 0.2. And world bosses, I set to 0.2 as well. And I'm pretty sure the world bosses like Lord Marigar, well, the bosses in the raids. So that's what I'm pretty sure that is. I don't remember, so I just set them all to 0.2. You scroll down here, you can lower their spell damage and lower their max hit points. Now, on 25 Heroic, at 0.5, Lich King still has a whole lot of hit points. So you might want to play with these a little bit to find what works for you. At 0.2, he still has like 20 million, which does make it a lot easier, but when you're by yourself, it's still kind of hard. Now you can get, there's a single player repack, I think it's a repack of AC, that does allow you to have bots on your system, that will work with you and quest with you and go for achievements, but it takes a lot of processor resources, and on my virtual machine here, it's sitting right next to me, that's why I was pointing that way. It couldn't handle it. I got a dual CPU allocated to it, so it just can't handle it. You get the idea. So I have to set them down lower just to be able to finish it. I'm going to have to lower this more to be able to do Lich King. That's just what it's going to have to be. But the damage is about right. So yeah, I might have to even raise the damage up some to make it more Blizz-like. Yeah, so that's important, and that's under the the creature settings. So to find that, go to creature settings. Okay, so we're back here. There's also a setting in the World Conf. Oops, let me hit the right button here. In the World Conf for entering instances. Let's see, raid. I think that might be where to go. Let's see. Raid. I just saw it here. Did you not see it? Raid warnings. Okay, it's right at the bottom. So you basically set this to... No, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. Okay, that's not the right one. There's a setting in here that will enable it so you can enter raids. It might actually be raid warnings. No, that's not it. Okay, that's option, or looking for group. There it is, ignore raid. So ignore raid allows you to run into the instance by yourself instead of having to have a raid group. Wait, or maybe this is this one. Let me see. Nope, that's not that one. Okay, I lied. It's instance.ignore raid. So, and also you want to do, assuming you want to run into Icecrown or whatever raid at level 20 or something instead of level 80, instead of the requirement, you set this to 0 as well. Because sometimes, just for fun, I like to teleport to Icecrown, run in, and use cheat commands to kill everything, just to gain up some gold or what have you. But even you can give it to yourself, so it's not that big of a deal. So let's switch back to the client here. So as you can see, I run very slowly. jump in here real quick, and I'll show you a command to adjust your speed. See, I can jump right into Icecrown, so it'll all by myself. So the next command you want to learn is, you see I have 10,000 gold here. I set that in the World Server Conf for, I think it's just called starting gold or something. But yeah, I don't know why I just skipped that. Okay, so to change your run speed, you just do dot modify speed, and then the speed you want to go at. 3 is if you're just running around like a city or something. See, if you get too fast, you'll miss doors and such. 10 is a happy medium for running around wide open spaces, like dungeons or maps, so you get to go pretty quick. I'm actually going to jump out of here so I don't pull bosses. Okay, so that's pretty quick. And then if you really want to screw things up, 50. Whoops. 50. It's not going to be happy, so watch this. Oop. Oop. He'll just run right into... Ah! I don't want to screw with that guy. Oh. Yeah. See, I ran so fast I lost the door. So, yeah. Oh, that's pretty neat. I forgot they did that. And you can see here I lowered the hit points of them. That's pretty low. So I might have to change that. So we're going to set the speed back to 3, just so I don't run into everything. That's better. Another command you want to know is fly. So we do dot fly on, dot modify fly on. Nope. Dot cheat. Nope. I don't remember the fly command, so we're going to check my macros because I have it set there. Okay, it's .gm fly on. Okay, there we go. And now I can fly. Be the Superman or Supergirl. It gives you a swimming animation. But when you're doing this, when you're flying like this, it's probably good to change your speed. So you do dot modify speed 10. So now you can get around the map faster, and you can also do, we'll try 20. That's pretty good for flying, I think. You get across the whole map in seconds. Well, let's try 50. Let's see if we can get to trials here real quick. I've never really tried this before, so let's see, where's trials? Go up this way. Yeah, you can see on the mini-map how fast it's going by. There's the airships, and I'm at trials. Whoa. So it's really good for getting across the map. You can also do it on mounts, so if you're on a horse or an air mount, you can change your speed. Whenever you do mount and unmount, it resets your speed. Sometimes when you get stunned or what have you, it resets your speed. So you'll want to make a macro for it, just so you can switch back and forth. I have one for 10, 3, 10, and 50, I think. I don't remember exactly, but it's one of those ones to help me get across the map quickly. Another command, if you like to cheat, probably one of the more important ones too, is the God mode. So .cheat, it'll give you a list of different cheat commands. So you do cheat God on .cheat. Okay, so it's just .cheat God, and it toggles. So if I do it again, it turns it off, and it's back on. So you can also do .cast time. .cheat cast time. And this makes it so all your abilities that have a cast time, that's, like say Mind Blast has, I think, a 2.5 cast time. If you're talented for it, now it'll be insta cast. It's that simple. It also works with your crafting or item pickup, that sort of thing. It'll change it to pretty much global cooldown, instant cast. Another one too is .cheat power. This gives you pretty much unlimited mana, energy, and rage. I think it also works with runic power. So that's useful too, especially when you're trying to do Dreamwalker and Icecrown, because you need to heal a lot. And at default, even if you're fully geared, it doesn't work very well. So I tried it as a Holy Priest, I tried it as a Discipline Priest, I tried it as Druid and Shaman, and I couldn't do it on my own. So I had to, and this is something you're going to have to figure out on your own because it's a pain in the butt. You'll have to create your own item with max spell power to pull it off, and it will take a while. I mean, you put like 3,000 spell power on an item, it'll still take a while, but it'll work. Yeah, so you have to do it that way pretty much. So usually I just skip that, especially when I'm on a non-healing class like Warrior. You can do it with bandages and such, but who wants to wait that long? So I just skip that one most of the time. I try to do it once if I can, if I got a healing class, just for the achievement, but yeah, who really wants to do that? And there's no heal cheat that I found anyway. Another command, .damage. We're just going to pick somebody here first. Let's go over here. Oh, where am I at? We need to change the speed down. Oops. There they are. I didn't know there was an eye there. Okay, so let's say we wanted to kill him. Yeah, I definitely need to change that normal HP. So you just do .damage. We only need 5,000, so you just do 5,000, and he dies. And there's no range limit that I found on this, so we'll just do that for him. Do that for him. Do that for him. Tab, and do that for him. I don't know why it's not working the first time. I have to do it twice for whatever. Oh, he had more HP, that's why. Right? Yeah. So, and when you do it that way, you can do loot. Now, there's another command, which you can change how this one, you see, I got stunned, so my speed's lower. You can change the command in WoW server conf to allow this command to give you loot, but .die will kill him right away, but you see I get no loot. Rather than change the config file, I just do damage. It also makes me feel like I'm actually doing something when I cheat. So, so we're here, and fly mode's still on. Let's do modify speed 10. We'll get back to trials. Now, one thing that does not work at all is the 5-man trials. It just does not work, and you see the instance is closed anyway. You have to use a GM command to get in there. But this one does work. The raid does work rather well, actually. Yeah, sometimes you have to use a GM command to get the loot, but it almost always works. But for now, we're going to run Icecrown real quick. So I'm going to turn my action bars all the way on like normal. I really should get bartender if I'm going to play this a lot. Then I go into my macros and got the fly on, the fly off, GM on in case something doesn't work right, and GM off. The GM on also makes you untargetable, so they just don't see you. This is another important command, instance unbind all. So if you wanted to repeatedly do Icecrown, or you wanted to repeatedly do via hold. After you leave the instance, you hit the unbind all, and it'll unbind all your instances so you can run them right away. My kill command is 4 million damage, so I'm going to drop that on my number 2. Here's the Tela Icecrown Citadel raid, so we're going to drop that over here. I will show you what this one does in a few. My speed, that's my speed 10, my speed 3, and you can see I just normal macros for that. And I have a speed 50 as well, apparently. I forgot about that. Okay, so we got these. This one was Tela to my BF Paladin. I don't know what that does. Or BE Paladin. Blood Elf Paladin. So that must be an E there, I just can't read it. But whatever, it takes me to the Blood Elf Paladin trainer. Okay, and then a God Mode macro. And that's it. Oh, what's this one do? Oh, I tried to make a cast sequence and then I just gave up. But yeah, okay, so now that we've got these all macroed, it's a teleport to Icecrown Citadel. And let's see, set this to 10. Yes. And now I can just run in and start doing things as normal, but still have no gear and 15,000 hit points. Use my kill command. Tab, use my kill command. Tab targeting, kill command. Tab, kill commands. I think there is a spider around here somewhere. Oh, there he is. There's that. And you can just run the whole way through. Tab targeting, tab targeting, tab targeting. Okay, you got the idea. So 2 is my kill button. So I just tab and hit 2. Tab and hit 2. Them spiders short are annoying, aren't they? Okay, and since I set my max level to 100, I'm still getting experience for this. So we're gonna actually skip through this. So not to make them so they can't target me, turn GM mode on using my macro button here. And it says GM, oh, you can't see it, maybe with my camera. And you can see up here it says GM mode is on. So now they can't see me. They can't see me. And the same thing for bosses, they can't see me. Whoops, I'm still flying. So now I turn GM mode off. And there we go. So I've got God mode on, so I'm not taking any damage. Oh, but then I use my kill command, and he's dead, since he only had 1.4 million. Now these bosses are easy, easy. They're doable with the lower hit points and lower damage I did. And with the money increase, I got a lot of money there. And there's a sword. We're just going to start using that just because. Now you can't do 20. Oop, I guess I got shadow more there. Now you can't do 25 until you do 10 for whatever reason. 10 normal. So we'll just do tab. Just clear these guys out before we do her. And you really don't need to. I just do it. Just because whatever the XP. And then 2. Get your loot. You gotta do this fast because you got the thing here and you have to get up it. You got fly mode on, so you can just fly straight up, turn around, and go. Tap, 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 tap. Now if you want more XP, you run around the other way. But I don't, so we're just gonna go straight up it. I think there's going to be one of those bone dragons following me somewhere. Now the boat is pretty much the same. You just got to wait for it. And with the HP settings, you can do the cannons, but it's hard. So we cheat there too. I've done it once, normal, and it took a while. but I got that under my belt. I know how to do it. Just yeah. Waiting for this is the worst part. So you wait for this, and you can use your kill command on this too, which is the damage for 1,000,000. And you'll see up here the health is listed. Now we're gonna try it real quick. So we got 1. Build up your heat. Yeah, okay, within my settings this is very doable. Just ignore all the bosses, all the ads. Keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it until your heat's up. Oh, I guess I didn't have to do that. So when you're on the boat though, you probably... what happened? Oh, they must have beat me to it. Okay, so we're just gonna cheat. Where's my boat? No boat. Coming back, good guy. I have to do this again. I'm not sure why it failed. I'm not, since I have less hit points too on this, that's probably why. Let's move my camera again to make sure you can see this. Wait for it. Let's see, what other commands are useful? We did the lookup for items. We did the lookup for teleporting. We did add items and with a multiplier. Okay, here's this. Now, first thing you got your kill command bound. So you select their boat, like so, and it tells you the hit points. Hit your kill command. Done. If your HP wasn't so low, or they're on your boat, it's probably easily doable. And this is a part where you run into a problem all the time. It hasn't taken me out of combat yet, as you can see here. So to get around that, you just hit GM mode on, takes you out of combat, and then you can loot. I don't have plate learned yet, so I can't use that. And here's another one. You have to be very careful with this one. You have to pretty much wait until combat starts. Now, it's like, what, 50 seconds, a minute you have to wait? As you can see at the DBM, it tells you, so we have to wait for this. It's a pain in the butt. So you can still target them, but do not use your kill command until combat actually starts, or the game will crash. It's that simple. The world server will crash. So you have to go back to your VM or wherever your server is hosted, stop it, and start it again. That restart command, I believe, is supposed to do it, but I'm running it on Windows 7, so it just doesn't. I'm not sure why. Let's turn GM mode off. Now he's attackable. Kill command. And then again, you don't have to wait for this, but I've had some issues, so I just wait for this to... Whoa, where'd you come from? You'll have that too when you cheat sometimes. Okay, so... Okay, I'm out of combat. But usually he walks up, picks up his son or brother or whatever it is, and walks off. And then you can get your loot. So, yeah, we're not worried about it. And this is also another place where raising the speed is great. We'll do 2 different examples. You can just run right through this since God knows on. And tap, 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 tab. Since I don't care, I'm going to turn GM mode on so they can't see me and just run right by them. And then turn GM off, kill, loot, whatever you want. I'm not going to worry about it. GM on, run to the next boss. And this is, you know, cheating at its finest, you know. I mean, I can make it even easier, but why? Whoop. GM on, they can't target me. Now this one gets bugged out sometimes too, and you see he's over here, and there's really not much you can do to him. So turn GM off, and you can't attack, and he can't attack you. That happens sometimes when you cheat as bad as I do. At least like this. I usually don't do it like this, but I'm trying to make it fast. So I turn the GM on, and then you can target him and kill him, and then loot him. But you have to leave GM on to do that. So, GM's on. Okay, let's turn fly off, and you get to see how you can pretty much hurt yourself here. Okay, so you got GM on, you're at height, you jump, and it gives you a really long distance. And I have lost myself sometimes. So, GM's on, I can run right by all these guys. Now, it still will start the instance, so you can just, or the event, you can just sort of back off here. Now, what's worse is you can cheat even worse than this to finish the dungeon. Okay, so you got him, turn GM off, kill. Okay, don't care, GM on, run through. GM on, oops, off, kill, loot, and then GM on, run away. Now I think next is, yeah, you kill all these for experience, or you can just run right through and you hit the gate to Dreamwalker. But since GM mode's on, you can open the gate. You know, it might be easier now with the only 2.4 HP, but I didn't notice it. I thought when I first came in here, after I lowered the hit points, I clicked on the flying one, and I saw 27 million. But now it looks like it's 2.4, so that might actually be doable on a healing class. So I'm gonna have to check that out later, which would be nice. And you can click the door down to Cindergosa. And like I said, it gets worse than this, so as far as cheating goes. Turn GM mode off. Kill these to get the other guys up here. It should turn around and come at me. Yeah, there's one. Kill him, and Cindergosa comes in. Now, I don't know how to avoid this damage. I used to. I didn't know if you have to run in there and then run back out. I think it used to be you just had to be at the top of the stairs. But now you see, just target her, kill her, and move on. So here comes another hard part. Well, not hard, because obviously we're cheating. Actually, we're going to use the other way. So, oops. Set the speed down to 3 so you don't run off the platform. I've had that happen and I had to wait again. Speed to 10. Fly on. Oops, shoot. Well, that didn't work. There we go. GM on. Speed to 10. Now, something I ran into. GM mode off. Oh, it worked that time, so I'm not going to complain. You can you can skip the whole BS with the talking and just go straight to target them. Target them, you win. Get your loot. Whatever, we're gonna get that. And then you're done. You finished it. You defeated the Lich King, and you cheated the whole way through. Now, the big part about doing it like that is just so you can see the basics. How to get through if you want to skip all the trash and go right to the boss. What the HP level was of the boss. That's basically why we did that. Now we're going to set it to 25 heroic, because since we completed it once, it'll let us do it for some reason. I don't remember if you had to do that live, but at least on this version, I have to. I'm not sure why. Okay, so we set it to 25 heroic. We don't need to do this because we did the 10-man normal, but if you hit the unbind instance, in this instance unbound, but if you want to use the command, it's just on instance unbind all. Yeah, and you can see it unbinded them. There was none left to unbind since I used my macro. So yeah, now it'll let me back in. Now if you don't set that command with the GM command, or the setting in World Server Conf to ignore the raid warnings, you can always turn GM on and it'll still allow you through. Okay, I'm going to leave GM on just to get over here. I would say you don't need any loot from anyone except for Lich King. So I don't need Marigar's loot. On Heroic is 6.3 million. Yeah. Even when fully geared, it's rough. And you have to make sure you kill all these guys and stuff because they'll run at you. Well, let's say you just need Lich King. Oops, wrong buttons. And you don't want to do all this stuff, so teleport right out. And we'll run back in. We're going to reset it just to be on the safe side. Run back in. And once you enter, let's turn fly off. Once you enter, you can teleport directly to the Lich King up here. Now, it took me a while to find this. I think I had to find it on one of the forums. The command to teleport right to the Lich King is cast 70860. It must be an event thing. I don't know. I tried finding other ones like Rotface and Cindergosa because I didn't know GM commands would allow me through the gates, and it took me a while to figure out I could just click on the gate. Yeah, I'm retarded sometimes. You don't know what you don't know, I suppose. Anyway, so yeah, it took me a while to figure that out. And then when that portal doesn't work in the lower, after you finish off Death Whisper and such, you can usually turn on the GM command and then the portal will work. If not, you just use this cast command. It'll bring you up here just to defeat the bug. So, we got the Lich King targeted. And obviously my non-geared can't do this, but you see 20 million XP or hit points. It is doable at this, but you need to be very geared. I did it on a warrior, and I've done it on a druid tank. They don't do a lot of damage to druid tanks. It took a while. But yes, it is doable. It's just very hard. Yeah, so anyway. So you just damage them like so. Oh, where'd he go? They all left me. Oh, GM moves on. Yeah, so I boogered that up. I'll have to teleport out. And then we can just run back. Oops, unbind. Run back in. Oh, okay, that's why. I have to put it on normal to get in. So we'll just do GM mode on to allow me in. GM mode off. Teleport to Lich King. And there he is. You see 20.6. Kill, 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 kill. And you get the animation there, we don't care. And then you get your loot. And that's it. And it's a lot of cheating. And you can also get to, let's say, I'm going to teleport out of here. There's some areas that just don't work for teleport. So let's do .lookup tele ruby. See, the ruby sanctum doesn't show up. Now worm rest I think does. So let's do lookup item or lookup tele. Let's do worm. And you'll see worm rest temples here, so we can .tele there. And that's probably why they didn't add the ruby sanctums, because you could just teleport right here. The other option, if you can't get it to work, or you just don't want to look it up, is tele Dalaran. You'll probably be spending a lot of time there anyway. So here we are, Dalaran. And you just run up here, and you can learn your flying, go get a mount, and do your thing. And since we did the flight path thing, quest helper gets mad, but you can fly anywhere. But what's faster than that is setting your speed, turning fly on, speed 50, and then just fly there. Make sure you're going south, turn on your map, and there we are, right here. And game mode off. Which one is it? I think it's this one. Yeah. And then you can just go ahead and do it. Wait, this is the one I thought it was. Anyway, you get the idea. You can just kill him, you beat it, get your items, and then, whoa! Speed's too fast. Violet holds another kind of tricky one. You need to give yourself the key. So you do .lookup item Violet hold key. So you just add item Violet hold key, enter, then tele Violet hold. No spaces, I believe. Yeah, take it right here. Now you have the key, and then you can run in. This is one that's very easy to do. You don't need to be fully geared. You just need to have some pants on. I don't have any pants on. The Shadowmourne quest is very difficult to do. It feels even more difficult if you're not hardcore cheating like I just did. So if you really want Shadowmourne, I would say run through Icecrown once or twice, and then give yourself Shadowmourne just to feel like you're doing something, instead of just cheating. But yeah, most of the Lich King instances are doable. Of course, you have to unlock Pit and Trials doesn't work, but you have to unlock some of them like you normally do, unless you have GM commands, and I think some of them just don't work anyway. So you'll just have to play around, see which one works. Trying to think of what other. Money command. So that's easy. If you need to give yourself more money because you have to do the trainings, do .modify money, and then this is the amount of copper. So if I needed whatever, just put whatever you want in. You'll have to play with it. And I just gave myself a bunch of copper, which translates to gold. Skills. I think I went over that briefly. Oh, get out of there. So 3, fly mode off because it's annoying me. So we wanted to learn inscription. Just come in here, learn it as normal. Train. Yeah. yes, training inscription is now one of my primary. Okay, we want enchanting. Yeah, we got the enchanting. Oh, I can't do that. I have to go to Silverman. Okay, so we're gonna do we'll do mining. So it goes good with warrior. And blacksmithing. So we got the blacksmith. Okay, so I got my 2 skills, right? 2 skills. But, you know, I need mining for blacksmithing, so let's go into here, mining, and it'll give me the warning, right? But since I set it in the World Conf, I can learn more, so I just hit the accept on that, and then K. It'll get, you see you got 3. And you can keep doing that for a lot of them. Just go to jewel crafting, train me, train yes, to whatever limit you set in the file, in the config file. Since mine is 10, I can learn up to 10 of them. Like so. Easy peasy, just hit the S. Just remember, once you get to your limit that you have set in your World Conf, if you do it, then it'll take your first skills away or what have you, like it does normally. There's a skill max command. Avoid that. Or I avoid that just because I like to feel I can do something. That sort of thing. I think I went over most everything. If you need help, there is a built-in help command. So it's .help. Whoop. Right. Enter .help. It'll give you a list of all your commands. Unstuck is useful too, especially when you have your speed high. Sometimes you'll run into obstacles and you can't get out. If this is a more unprivate, so you have your friends and stuff playing, and your friend is playing at like 4 in the morning when you have to sleep at that point, but you don't text and chat back and forth, they can put a ticket in. Yeah, you just go through these. Let's say you wanted a guild because you need more bank space. You just do, I think it's guild create. Do guild create and it'll give you a list of options. So you want the guild name, so let's do Trek Guy. And leader, we'll do this character, so Vigercy. Spelled it wrong apparently. Oh no, it's leader name and then the guild name, so Vigercy. This must need to be in quotes. Let's try that. There we go. And now I'm in a guild. One I created. And then you can add your other characters to it if you want them to have access to the bank too. It's useful if you need to trade stuff back and forth, but with the add item command, it's not really necessary. Where it really becomes useful is when you hit the gold limit. You can drop your gold into there. You'll never really need to because you could just add gold, but it gives you more bliss like fill if you do want that. Let's see. What else is in here? You can summon other characters, so you select a character you want. And just do .summon. Oops, I don't think that'll work. I don't know if it works on NPCs or not. Okay, so let's select that character. We'll run across the map. Try .summon. Yeah, it must only work on other players. I thought it worked on them too. There's a morph command. You just have to know what the ID. You type. Let's see. Let's do look up creature. Let's do look up. See what the options are. Yeah, look up creature. Ooh, no, we wage there. And let's do can't think of one. I know Lich King doesn't work, so we're not even going to try that. Let's try, so we can shift click him. Look up creature. My brain just isn't working on this. Let's try dragon, see if that works. There we go. So we'll do find one that actually works. So then we do, okay, so morph, and let's try that. That didn't work. Oh, okay, I gotta select myself. Now let's try that command. I swear I had it working before. And then you just do demorph if you get it working. And then I'll turn it off. I'm not sure. I had it working the other day. It might just be that model. So you just have to play around with it, see which one works. Let's see, dot lookup. But dot lookup is probably the most important command. So you just do dot lookup. You can find taxi nodes, skills, other players, quest, objects, item sets. Item sets is useful if you want to get like the PvP sets especially. Here's another good one too. If you need more frost emblems, you go to your currency, and you see how I got all those maxed out already. But say we need more triumphs for whatever reason, so you do lookup item emblem. You'll get a list of emblems here, and we want add item shift click. Let's say we want 100 of them. Now we got 101 of them because it adds on to what you already have. Pretty simple. I think you could do the same thing for arena points. So let's do lookup item. We'll just do 100 points. Yep. So I think we're at the limit with 75,000, but we're going to try to add them anyway. So dot add item 100 points, 1,000, 10,000. Yeah. I'm at max, so I can't add them. But it would work if I wasn't at max, I believe. So there's that. I'm trying to think of other commands that are useful. If you have, I suggest you get it, Atlas Loot, and you can go into Shadowfang. Let's query. Let's see, I think there's one. Isn't there one that's just trash here? I don't see. Oh, there it is. Okay, so trash mobs. Let's say we want the Shadowfang. So you can't shift click from Atlas Loot that I know of. We're going to try it though. So we're going to do add item Shadowfang? Yeah, you can shift click from there. And then now I got Shadowfang. Which is a pretty awesome weapon for vanilla. Okay, so there's that. Atlas Loot works pretty awesome. It's pretty much normal what you should get for playing live. Atlas Loot, DBM, X-Pro, whatever thing you want. A mini map, change I see I got Titan bar up here. So yeah, it's pretty much, it's that simple, really. It really is. Yeah, I mean, tweak it in the world server conf. The commands basically to give you a quick help, teleport right where you want to be, so you don't have to waste time running around. I do suggest, if you haven't played Wrath of the Lich King before, play it through. Maybe modify the HP and stuff so you don't die right away. But yeah, it is that simple. But if you need more GM commands, there is one command that is extremely helpful. There's a revive command. So if you do happen to die, you can revive yourself pretty easily. So we're just going to minimize this here, change it down to there, and get back to my virtual machine, and we're going to change it to here. Okay, the command is pretty simple. It's just revive and the character name. And if I was dead, it would bring me back to life. Since you're dead and you can't chat when you're dead, you can't run any commands in your chat window. So that's why you have to go back to the server, the world server instance. And again, I think there's a help here too. Oops, let's get back over here. Yeah, and it basically gives you the same commands. You just have to scroll up here. And that's it. If you need more commands, or you want to get a more comprehensive list than what I showed you, these are just the basic ones to help you cheat and get around a little bit easier. Especially the speed command. The speed command is priceless. But you just use your favorite search engine. I use DuckDuckGo. You just Google or search Trinity Core GM commands, and the first couple links should give you a whole list of the GM commands for both the world server side and the client side. If you have any questions, though, please do ask. I'll see what I can do for you.